And yes, we are live. We'll just wait for our viewers to join us for a few seconds. Good evening. Welcome to the e-live sessions of Celeb Chronicles. Today we have a very special guest with us, an iconic woman, a charismatic leader, and a powerful accommodation, all in one. Please welcome our beloved Ma'am Joyeeta Mazumdar, the principal of Ruby Park Public School. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to the show. Ma'am, before going into the session, on behalf of Celeb Chronicles team, wish you a very happy Teachers' Day in advance, and
Thank
also
you.
would love to listen to a few words from you about how you feel on this day. Is it a day which reminds you of your accomplishments being a teacher, or this is a day which gives you the high five that yes, you have made your part of contribution to the societies, how this day compliments you?
Thank you, Sharani. First of all, I would like to thank you for having me on this wonderful show. And to answer your question directly, on any Teacher's Day, one
Mm,
feels very delighted, firstly, to be in this very, very coveted profession. It
right.
is a very rewarding and a wonderful profession to be in.
Mm,
Yes, the accomplishments over the last so many years, which I think every teacher can feel so beautifully, that
mm,
is a very rewarding feeling by itself.
mm,
And to add to that, the feeling that yes, we are in a place in society where we are contributing so much in the
right.
best possible way is a thing of promise which we carry on with us.
Right, right, ma'am. Ma'am, considering your portfolio and professional profile, tell us something about, is there any fundamental conflict between being an accommodation and being an administrator, or being this together?
Honestly speaking, there is no conflict. But I think at some point, every senior teacher or every principal or coordinator or a headmistress has
Mm,
to very beautifully balance the role of administrator and to be in the academic section. Now, they go hand in hand for any educational institution, and administration is something that you learn over the years
mm,
because when you become a teacher, you know your subject, your knowledge is there already. But
right.
to know the nuances of administration, one has to work in it, be totally a part of the administration of an educational institution and to grow with that administration. That is the unique quality.
Very well said, ma'am. Very well said. Ma'am, did you always have a dream to become a teacher, or it just happened?
From a very young age, when I was in school, I would
Mm.
admire my teachers. I'm a pass out from Loreto Convent, Ranchi. I've done
Wow.
my college from St. Xavier's, Kolkata. And all throughout my student life, I had a lot of admiration for my teachers, professors. I
Right.
would look up to them. But yes, the decision to finally come into the teaching profession, that
Mm.
came after I completed my post graduation, and I
Mm.
thought I'll be able to fit into this role beautifully. So that is how I decided.
Wow. Ma'am, tell us one or two incidents which makes you feel you don't regret to be a teacher. Any two incidents which is coming to your mind?
Incidents as such, Sharoni, I can tell you there was an instance where my daughter was in school and she was appearing for her ICSE exams. I think
Okay.
this was way back many years. I don't remember the exact year, maybe 2009 or 10. And I was
Okay.
helping her with preparing for the ICSE. So it
Right.
so happened that I was also the examiner of ICSE of English at that point of
Mm.
time.
Okay.
So it became very easy for me to teach her. I didn't have to, it came to me so easily to guide her through the exams. I didn't
Mm.
have to fall back or look into any research things for helping her out. After a very hard day's work, I could do it, effortlessly in the evening. So this is one incident I will live with all my life. And if I can tell you another instance, in the teaching
Mm.
profession, you see, we bond very well with the colleagues. It's a
Right.
general example I'm giving you, and
Right.
there is no immediate boss. When I was a
Right.
teacher uh, in a senior capacity, and I had a beautiful relationship with my senior colleagues, we weren't answerable to anybody directly over us. There wasn't a boss. so as to
Hmm.
speak. So that is one thing I carried very positively with me.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, there are students who succeeds, and there are students who fails also. Like the success rate is indeed high in your case. Still, my question is: do you make yourself accountable for the failures too? Does it like give you a sense of responsibility to, or make you more determined for future making?
uh, any student's failure, definitely it has an impact in our
Hmm.
minds, on our emotions, because this is what we work for throughout the year. So if any student is not able to reach the expected mark, I think any teacher, any principal has to carry that onus. And
Right.
it is a very strong reminder for everybody in the education field that
Hmm.
perhaps we could have done better, and perhaps we could have had a better strategy to make these students perform better. So I think there is a strong connection, and one cannot overlook that factor.
Right, right, ma'am. Ma'am, you have seen the world education system in a broader perspective. So, do you
Right.
think that the Indian education system needs to be, restructured in a different way to become compatible with that of the international standard?
Well, Sharoni, to be very, very honest, at the moment, the entire education system in the country is undergoing a change. We have
Right.
the education policy coming into force.
Mm,
At the same time, if we have to compare with the international standards, there are
mm,
certain changes which need to be incorporated. But the
mm,
Indian education system on its own is a very strong one, and it can
mm,
be challenged in any corner of the world. The basics, I don't think, need to change. What
mm,
we need to incorporate is the adaptability, giving the access to our students to universities overseas,
mm,
giving information to our students about how to adapt, perhaps in a teacher learning environment in any
mm,
place in the world, and also in the working environment. This is one thing I think everybody should stress upon. Any student who is a pass out of a
mm,
renowned university or a college in India should be able to adapt herself or himself to the work role or to the job responsibilities, which is
right,
the ultimate. After the pass out, you have to take up a job for your livelihood. And
right,
that is where there is a huge bridge every student needs to cross, to adapt oneself and to learn how to implement what we have learned. But I think the Indian education system is already working in that direction.
mm,
And for major courses across the country, if we are taking into post graduation or graduations in
mm,
major universities, there is the internship with companies, with corporates, with the medical students, with the engineering students. We have
mm,
our students who are going overseas also for internship, and they learn a lot of things hands on. So I think that is one huge bridge which is connecting the students so well.
right, right. Ma'am, we have a question from our team to you. Like, what is the best and the worst thing about being a teacher?
Best thing about being a teacher is that you get a lot of respect from your students,
Mm,
and they look up to you because you are imparting your lessons on a day to day basis.
mm,
Every day is a sense of fulfillment because you are giving something to the students.
right,
There is every day you have something to look forward to. Well,
right.
Sharoni, to be very honest, I don't really wouldn't think there's a worst part, but I think something that teachers sometimes really it bothers them is the correction work. Is because
Mm,
teaching is done very passionately, in the
mm,
classroom to the students. But when you need to do the corrections, the loads of correction, this I
mm,
think is sometimes burdening. But again, I would say that every teacher and anybody in this profession should take it very positively.
right, right, ma'am. Very well said. Ma'am, it is extremely unfortunate to see that right from the primary level to the high education, high secondary level, and all, different systems are being followed under the name of various institutions, board, universities, etc., by which a massive disparities are created amongst the students, especially due to their economics status in the society. So this results in unrest and like prolonged frustrations and eventually to an endless restlessness. So what is your view in this regard?
See, we need to have a uniform policy in the country. We are a country with so many diversities. There are so many states. There are so many languages. There are
Hmm,
so many boards,
mm,
and we all need to come under one umbrella. I think it is very important for any administration in the country to integrate the system of education to
mm,
best remove the disparity.
mm,
And I think, again, when we are talking about economic disparities, there are many good
mm,
students, perhaps in the rural sector of our country, who do
mm.
not have the fortune or the access to get the right kind of education.
Right,
I
right.
think that has to be bridged. In this connection, Sharoni, if you allow me, I would like to say another thing.
Yes, ma'am.
That yeah, there are students and aspiring parents who look forward to their children doing very well.
Mm,
That is, I mean, acceptable. That is very
mm,
normal. But not every student can become an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer successfully. We
mm,
need to introduce the vocational part. Ours is a huge, huge country with a massive population. Not everybody can have a white collar job. So the not so recognized jobs, we have the poultry farming, we have the mechanical industry, we have the automobile industry, where these are the people with whom you cannot do without them. You have to
mm,
have them. So it is very important that you impart the vocational education, for which I think, I would say, for my board, CBSE has already taken a huge
mm,
step, and we are
mm.
working towards it to impart the right kind of education. You need to identify what your child or what your student is good at, and then guide him or her.
Right, right, ma'am. Ma'am, we have another question from our team. Like, do you think that the spirituality should be introduced to the students in the early stage so that it never becomes too late?
Spirituality is a huge, wide
Mm,
umbrella, and there are many many aspects of spirituality. I
mm,
think spirituality should be taught to the students by
mm.
way of doing things correctly.
Right.
Spirituality should not be talking about religion, sects,
Mm,
communities, etc.
mm,
Spirituality should be talking only about the good that we
mm,
can do. It should be talking only about the positive vibes. And I
mm,
think that can be introduced at a very young age,
mm,
from the age of 5 or 6, I would say. For
mm.
instance, when we were in school, Sharoni, we had the moral science classes.
Right.
We didn't think much of it then, but
Mm,
today we realize how important they were and what they have, the values which have been imparted. If you teach
mm.
them, that gets converted into your rightful spirituality. Thereafter, how you take it forward is up to the student when he or she becomes an adult.
Right. Ma'am, any special moment of Teacher's Day which is coming to your mind right now, which you want to share with our viewers?
Well, when I had started my career, it was
Mm,
way back in 1995. And I think it was just about a year after that, or a couple of years, when I was very new to this profession, and we had the Teachers' Day. And on that
mm,
day, when my students, I was in the middle school at that point of time, teaching the middle school students, when they had come and wished me, and they had given me, small tokens of gifts like flowers, cards, and that was the day I realized that this bond is going to stay with me forever. So
right.
very early in the profession, I had a beautiful, beautiful memory of a Teacher's Day, and which I still cherish till date.
Right. Ma'am, where do you want to see yourself after 10 years?
Long term planning, I really haven't thought so far, Sharoni. But to be very honest, I would like to see myself contributing in any way. See, today I'm in a very important designation. I
Mm,
have to contribute, and I have the responsibilities, which
mm,
my chair has. There are certain responsibilities which goes with the position. But
mm.
10 years down the line, I would not like to be eradicated totally, to be cut off from the profession. In
Right.
whatever little way I can, I want to stay connected to the teaching profession and to be contributing in my own little way. I would never like to step away from the teaching field completely.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. Ma'am, anything you want to say in inspiring words for the junior teachers, like the people who are doing BA or who want to come in this field and all? You want to say anything to them?
Mm, well, there is one thing I would definitely like to point out to anybody who's becoming a teacher. First of all, in the classroom, which is the area of our everyday work, reach out to every student. Not you, you might be a very good student and you might have been a very bright scholar and you've become a teacher thereafter. But not every child in the class is that bright. There are
Right.
handicaps, there are problems on the domestic front, there are emotional problems which children go through. So do not ignore that and take everybody as you go forward. And the second word of advice is please be passionate about this career and this job, because unless a teacher is passionate, the students don't learn and the school doesn't grow or any institution doesn't grow.
Right, right. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are almost like at the end of our session. Just
Right.
few words because tomorrow is Teachers' Day, 5th September.
Mm.
So you
Yeah.
want to dedicate few things or few words to your students.
Well, to all my students, Sharani, for the last so many years that I have taught, and to all the students, whoever is listening, uh, there is one small advice I would give them, that while you are here, while you are in the learning stage, while you are a student, this is the best part of your life. This is the
Right.
best part. Make the most of it. Uh, take every guidance, take every directive, instructions to the best of your ability, and follow what the elders are telling you, and make the most of every day in your learning process. You will become a very, very rich individual at the end of your learning career.
Wow. Wow, what how nicely you have said, ma'am. Thank you so so much. I thank you, like from our whole team of Celeb Chronicles, and for the viewers, those who have missed this episode from the beginning. The whole episode will be uploaded in our YouTube channel. You will get it very soon. And till
All right.
then, happy Teachers' Day to all the teachers out there in advance. And thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharoni. It was lovely talking to you and lovely to be here on your channel. Once again, a very big thank you to you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.